Welcome. Alec Gardner, Trainer and Assessor for Human Resource Management here at the Australian Institute of Management. Today, we're going to do a walkthrough for BSBHRM529, which is Coordinate Separation and Termination Processes. And this is for version 2 of the assessment kit. This assessment is competency-based and comes out of the Business Services training package. So what are the competencies that you'll develop through this unit? Assist development of policies and procedures, coordinate separation and termination, coordinate exit process. Now, there'll be 4 assessment tasks here. You'll have written questions. Your assessment task 1 has 6 elements to it. Assessment task 2 has 3, and assessment task 3 has 3 as well. So your written questions, there are 5 written questions. Assessment task 1, part A is you're going to research features of best practice systems and legal requirements. So in this part of the task, you need to research features of best practice systems and legal requirements for separation and termination of employment in Australia. There's a table provided to help you complete this task. Conduct your research against the 7 categories shown in the table. Make sure all parts of the table are completed. Part B, assist in determining policies, procedures, and supporting documentation. Assist your organisation by conducting a review of its separation and termination policy and procedures and suggesting improvements. This work should be informed by your research into best practice that you did in Part A. You'll evaluate the existing policy and procedures against the criteria. After conducting your review and evaluation, complete the provided table to suggest at least 5 improvements to the policy and procedures to make it more comprehensive, compliant, fair, and transparent. At least 3 additional documents that support a fair and compliant separation and termination process. Make sure that you fill out all parts of the table. Part C, here you're going to consult with stakeholders, and you're going to consult with them on the policy, procedures, and the supporting documents required by the organisation to conduct separation and termination legally, fairly, and transparently. Your consultation with stakeholders should focus on identifying any gaps or areas for improvement in existing documentation and process, such as the review and evaluation that you conducted in Part B. Part D, develop policies, procedures, and documentation. In this part of the task, you'll develop a draft policy and procedure covering all forms of separation and termination. This work should be informed by your research in A, B, and your consultation that you did for Part C. Part E, ensure procedures for dismissal or termination are lawful. In this part of the task, you will focus on separation arising from dismissal or termination of employment. This type of separation can cause significant cost and damage to an organisation if it's handled incorrectly. So additional time and attention is warranted here. Develop a checklist to ensure that separation arising from dismissal or termination of employment is conducted to legislative requirements as well as organisational policies and procedures. There's a checklist template that's provided to help you complete this. Part F is communicate with stakeholders seeking and use their feedback. Send the policy and procedures that you developed in Part D to stakeholders, along with documents that support the process, such as the checklist that you developed in Part E. You can choose to communicate with the same stakeholders that you consulted in Part B, or additional or alternative stakeholders. Invite the stakeholders to provide feedback that can help you refine and improve the policy, procedures, or supporting documents. Obtain their support to continue to finalise these records. Now, assessment task 2, Part A, you're going to facilitate the development of a redundancy or redeployment plan. So you're going to have a scenario here. ABC Proprietary Limited has completed an annual review of its policies and procedures and identified that its process of redundancy require revision. Now you've been tasked with coordinating and facilitating and updating the relevant plans and processes for ABC's employees. Now they're covered by the Clerk's Private Sector Award. Download the award, because the award will have the redundancy provisions that need to be completed. So look at that in relation to ABC. So you're going to review ABC's existing redundancy policy shown and make updates and any amendments. Part B, coordinate management of a redundancy and provide relevant information about process. So the scenario is with ABC Limited, has experienced a downturn in business, including a significant reduction in sales and service activity. In light of this downturn, ABC Proprietary Limited has decided to reorganise and restructure its sales and service department. The restructure includes redistributing the duties and functions currently held by the role of service coordinator among other employees in the sales service department. This is in keeping with the Fair Work Commission's decision that employers are within their rights to do so. Research this particular case, Mr. Brian Bradu versus Eurolinks. Good piece of information on what you can do. The role of the service coordinator at ABC Proprietary Limited is currently held by Austin Barillo, who has been with ABC Proprietary Limited for 3 years. Austin is a full-time employee. Task, select a colleague to play the role of Austin Barillo. You will play the role of manager. Meet with Austin Barillo to discuss the business restructure and its implications for the job of service coordinator. Now, you're going to submit a video as evidence for this. Part C, ensure human resource staff, managers and supervisors have necessary skills and knowledge to take disciplinary action. In this part of the task, you need to identify and briefly describe actions or initiatives to ensure that employees and managers have the necessary skills and knowledge to conduct disciplinary action legally, fairly in your organisation. Additionally, identify at least 3 tools to support the initiatives, such as relevant micro-credential manuals, presentations, and you're going to provide links to examples such as suitable online courses. There's a table there. Make sure you complete all the table. Part D, review workforce data for predicted numbers of people retiring and make necessary plans. Now, the case study here is going to be based on council workers in local government in Australia. And there's an article there for you to read through. You can also refer to the relevant data from the Australian Bureau of Statistics, such as retirement and retirement intentions. Your task here is to review the article and extract relevant data on predicted numbers of people retiring and the implications for local government sector. Include plans in the sector to prepare for predicted levels of retirement. Assessment Task 3, Part A, assist in the development of an employee exit and interview process. Part A, assist in the development of an employee exit interview process. Assume that your organisation does not have a policy and procedure to conduct employee exit interviews and that you have been tasked to develop this. In drafting the exit interview policy and procedure, you should include content typically found in the policy and procedures, such as purpose, application, policy statement, procedure, definitions, review and revision. Include at least 5 standardised questions to be asked at exit interviews to gather feedback and generate data. Include guidelines to ensure that staff are skilled to conduct exit interviews effectively. The templates provided to help you complete this task. You might have a different format in your organisation. Now, you can use that provided your responses include the required content. Part B, provide separating employees opportunity to participate in exit interviews. Create an email template to send to exiting employees to give them the opportunity to participate in an exit interview. The content of the email should include the following: who will conduct the exit interview? How will it be done? When will it be done? How confidently are the responses assured that the data to be used for? Part C, record and depersonalize data from exit interviews. So you're going to complete this task. Now you're going to access the exit interview spreadsheet. You will complete this record and analyze the information. Now, assume that 5 exit interviews have been conducted in the previous 2 months. Responses from the interviews need to be recorded using their organization's exit interview spreadsheet. The spreadsheet is set up to capture responses of 5 targeted questions using a number to represent responses. Key and examples are included in the spreadsheet. Read the profiles on the page, extract the information to complete the spreadsheet, follow the examples. Ensure that employee details are depersonalized, so redact them. The organization uses this method, order of exit interview in the period, plus number of the month for the interview was conducted, plus year of interview. So for example, January 2023, 10/12/23. Part D, establish trends and patterns that suggest improvements across the organization according to the data from exit interview. So you'll be presented with an extract of data from the exit interviews conducted over a 3-year period. And the question we looked at was, would you work here again? Review the data to establish trends and patterns, suggest improvements the organization could make based on data. Now, you'll be doing a video, so make sure you set up your Google account, watch the how-to video in the assessment kit, upload your video presentation to YouTube. Make sure that you have it as unlisted and then copy the URL into your submission. If you need assistance, remember to book a one-on-one.